Hey everyone, my name is Taps, and this video is for all of the NFT enthusiasts who are looking for the next NFT project that's going to moon or 10x, or for fans of this NFT project who want to actually share this with others in the NFT space who just aren't in the know. There have been tons of NFT projects that have absolutely shot up this past year, like CryptoPunks, Bored Apes, Cool Cats, Kongz, NBA Top Shots, the list goes on and on. But there is one that has been making consistent astronomical gains over the past couple months that you may not be aware of, and that's because the NFT space has been sleeping on it. But they are about to awaken, so I wanted to bring this up to you now. What's more is they have actually been dropping basically 10K projects every single week for months. Some have been 100,000 mints in a single month. Almost every single drop so far has sold out almost completely, and tons of them have gone up 100% to 2,000% plus in just a day to a few weeks. Most of which would only have cost you a minimum of $7 to $400 to turn profits into the thousands and with no gas fees. If you haven't figured out yet, I'm talking about Veve Collectibles from Ecomi. And before you decide to say, oh, I'm not going to listen to this, I'm familiar with them, they're not NFTs, well, that's about to change. So hear me out and let's actually take a look at the numbers. These numbers, these gains will actually shock you that it's been sitting right under your nose, and understand that Veve Collectibles are about to be legitimized as NFTs, same as many of these other massive projects in just a few weeks. So now is the time to pay attention to them, because the next Bored Ape Yacht Club or Cool Cats could be sitting right underneath your nose. As always, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the community and feel free to subscribe. I'm a crypto, stock, and real estate investor, but never a financial advisor. All right, so let's actually take a look at the numbers of the returns that us crazy Veve fam are making first, and then I'll explain how these are gonna be on the same page as some of your favorite NFTs that are already out there. And then last, I'll explain why these are about to take off to even grander heights thanks to Veve cornering the market and securing many licenses that other projects cannot have. As you can see from this post from DAP Radar, which has 85,000 followers on Twitter and is a trusted source for what is trending in decentralized apps, what is happening. This reaches a big amount of people in the crypto space. And it says, at Marvel Comics making a splash, the first ever official NFT drop of a Marvel comic book on Veve has jumped 770%. Now, before I actually get into some really serious numbers, let's just take a look at the recent drop. You can see I'm in the Veve app here on my iPad. You can do it on your iPad, on your phone, and there is a web version coming soon. You can browse any drops, you can see what's new, but if we go ahead and click at the collectibles and the comics, we'll actually see that the Immortal Hulk was the one that came out just recently. I was able to only grab one during the drop of 30,000 mints, and I bought two more off the floor. But in that time, I spent $7 and the price shot up to around $20, so over 100%, and the floor has stayed roughly around $15 to $16. Now this just came out yesterday. However, what I want to highlight is that was the common. So there was 30,000 that were dropped. There are always commons, uncommons, rares, ultra rares, and secret rares. So commons are the cheapest and you're already up 2x. As you can see, this is the secret rare right here. And let's see what the floor is sitting at, $1,300. So yesterday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, there were 30,000 of these drops. And you can see that there's 600 editions. Now, this was sold out in literally like 2 seconds, 3 seconds maybe. Unless you had multiple devices and people helping you, you only got one. 1 to 3 is probably about the max that you're able to swing, depending on if you had help. So unless you had absolutely insane luck, roughly about 550 or so people were able to get one of these. And they were able to turn $7 into $1,300 if they were to sell today, 24 hours later. Now the floor for this comic secret rare is actually relatively low compared to most of the other secret rares. You can see Journey in the Mystery, 2.9K, roughly 3K at the bottom, and this came out last month. Brace yourself for this one. Currently sitting at a bottom of roughly 29 to 40K for this secret rare that, again, came out last month. I just saw someone sold a bunch of collectibles that they've been holding on for months to actually make about 19K in the app to buy this yesterday. And so from yesterday to today, they're already sitting above 10 to possibly 20K because the floor has raised so much on this incredible secret rare. And you can see there are more and more and more. And this is just the comics, not even the collectibles. Tons of people go from $7 to $1,000 to $10,000 to $20,000 on some of these comics. And again, seeing is believing. So that's the comics, but we can see from the collectibles, Adani, someone spent $17, and this is months and months ago. Like, these have been shooting up. So they are currently at floor price, roughly around $32,000, a gain of 188,000%. The Spider-Mans, these were dropped in partnership with Marvel, which they have, just last month, and they went from $400 all the way to roughly a floor of $8,000, a gain of almost 2,000%. Pride dropped a few months ago, $100. I have one of these, and it's sitting roughly around 4,000 floor, but it did shoot up to around 6,000 floor just a few days ago. Same with Eduardo Riso. I paid this price for it back in, I think, February, and now it is sitting around $4,000, which is actually, I think, relatively extremely low. And the list goes on, as you can see, 14,000%, 11,000%, 5,400%, 2,000%, 3,200%. People are making a lot of money. They are stacking up a lot in this app. Basically, you have virtual showrooms where you can show off your collectibles, your comics, and they have exclusive partnerships with the biggest brands that most don't have in the NFT world. And there is so much coming. And now how it works is you buy gems in the app with fiat. One gem equals one USD. And when you sell them, you can only get more gems. This has detoured many for months because essentially there's no way to cash out, right? But that is finally changing with the money transfer license that is coming out this month. People have been flipping their way into these secret rares and ultra rares and being able to stack up more and more collectibles, but they're also stacking up more and more gems. And again, those gems are equal to one USD, and they'll be able to cash out soon. So there are people sitting on tens to hundreds of thousands of these gems that they'll be able to turn into actual money very soon. And by the way, this site, Ecomi Wiki, has been actually made by someone in the community who worked with the team to get APIs. That's how hungry we are for an actual marketplace. Community members are actually building them before they go into an OpenSea, before we can even mint these. But again, that's all coming in the next few weeks because the OMI token, which is what's associated with the Veve Collectibles, and the app is migrating from GoChain to Immutable X, a layer 2 Ethereum solution, which also has a functional and interoperable marketplace. As you can see, Veve has a spot right here reserved and waiting. You'll also see a few big projects that are in the Immutable X ecosystem as well, like Gods Unchained, which is highly successful card game and NFT project that I was actually first introduced to from JRNY Crypto, one of the biggest voices in the crypto space, as well as Guild of Guardians, which has been selling out like crazy for a game that is coming in 2022 and has been mentioned tons of times by the biggest play to earn YouTubers like KG Jan, Crypto Stash, and On-Chain Gaming. Veve and Ecomi is already one of the largest functional platforms coming to the Immutable X ecosystem, and with it, it's actually bringing over, this is an outdated number, of over 400,000 users, over 50 million plus in sales in less than a year. And Veve has the partnerships with some of the largest licensors in the world, again, like Marvel, DC, Cartoon Network, CBS, Capcom, Star Trek, Jurassic Park, and roughly 100 more licensors just waiting in the queue that, again, a majority of every other NFT out there doesn't have the ability to use, but Veve does because the leadership team has been in the collecting business for collectively around 100 years between 4 people. And they have built galvanized relationships that they've been working and signing these licensors since they started in 2018. They have the drop on most of the other NFT companies out there because They've been working at it for years. We're starting to see where every NFT project is talking about, utility and roadmaps and metaverses coming, because most PFPs aren't going to stand the test of time. So they need to think of something that is going to help them have longevity. If they don't adapt to that, with the exception of some of the OGs like CryptoPunks and a few others, they're going to not matter in a few months to a year. You don't have to worry about that with Veve Collectibles, because they have a fully functional app that you can actually project your collectibles into augmented reality, which tons are actually having fun with. And I'll show you a few pictures of the community. Claire has a ton of incredible photos where she's actually putting them in everyday life. But then there's also people like Ryan Roman Tech who are actually creating incredible works of arts with collectibles. And we don't even have accessories in the showrooms yet, showing their DeLoreans and their Ecto 1s and their cars, like having fun with their collectibles. Even I got into it. And each time these comes out, we're usually tagging the companies on Twitter, and they're loving it. The digital comics you can actually open, read, and play with in augmented reality. That's insane. And this is all leading up again to being on Immutable X, where you'll soon be able to mint them in OpenSea so you can own them in a non-gated app. Then there's tons of utility that's coming to the token itself, the OMI token, where you'll be able to buy actual collectibles within the app with it. There's a master collector program where you'll receive collector benefits and badges for how much you're completing in sets and collectibles. And there's going to be land purchases in the near future. They're looking at the end of this year, early beginning of 2022, in what is being called the Veveverse. Now, when you think of legit metaverses, think about a Marvel world, like a theme park. Think about a DC world, an actual Jurassic World with dinosaur collectibles. When it comes to all of these major brands, Cartoon Network, again, CBS, Star Trek, Marvel, most other NFTs can't do that because they don't have the rights. They don't have the partnership with the licensors, but Veve will. The Veveverse is going to oust so many other NFTs and their metaverses. And a lot of these collectibles that are going to be able to mint on OpenSea in the next couple of weeks, I bet they stay there off of the app and decrease total supplies available in the app just to increase the value of them even more so. That's why so many of us are avidly collecting right now, because the prices that are reflected in them now are going to shoot up once they are actually mintable in the marketplaces. Especially since if there's only, let's say, 100 of something in the app, in the Veveverse, where you can actually use it as an avatar, you're going to tell me that people are going to be clamoring to try to get more to actually have that as their avatar? You're telling me that people aren't going to flip their lid and be so excited to actually be an animated Spider-Man NFT avatar, or Superman, or Captain America, or Batman? People are going to lose it when they hit OpenSea. And if you think it's not a big deal that they have this and anyone else could just do it, well, guess again. Comic book giants Marvel, DC warn artists against selling NFTs. Unless you have actual partnerships or licensor IP, you can't use these direct images in NFTs. And Marvel and DC drew the line in the sand early to say, you can't do this, but Veve can. Veve chose to build for years to lay the foundation of what's going to be a substantial empire in the collectible and crypto and NFT world. And this is just the awakening period. They're just now joining the rest of the NFT world with a massive inventory, a massive passionate community, as you've seen, a massive amount of sales already generated, a ton of support from the biggest names in crypto, and again, 100 plus other licensors and artists in the queue that we have not yet seen, that are just waiting for their content to be released. We're just now almost done with season 2 drops. 2 seasons so far, less than 1 year. And the pricing is up thousands of % on multiple collectibles, pre-interoperability, pre-OpenSea. Watch when that happens, let alone when what those season 1 drops will be worth in season 8 or season 10. This is a warning to the rest of the NFT world, or just a heads up that Veve is coming to OpenSea, Immutable X, and the metaverse in a short amount of time. And the rest of the crypto and NFT world is about to have a rude awakening for sleeping on these. So consider this as your ticket to whitelist and to take advantage of the drops that are happening weekly now. There's actually one tomorrow before there are so many users that getting even one becomes difficult. The Marvel partnership is and has been massive for Veve, but they know not to lead with their best. What else could be waiting for them to have millions of users, which they're targeting 1 million the end of this year? What else could be announced once the masses are ready for it and there is interoperability? Maybe a licensor that's associated with Marvel, or one where the global head of licensing and CEO both have been working with for decades with their past companies. Who knows? It's all speculation until proven, right? Which we did speculate about Marvel, and then it was proven. But what we do know is this simply is the beginning of what's going to be a lucrative and exhilarating time for all those who've been collecting Veve NFTs over the past year and have been hodling hard. We hope that you join in now so that you can be at the top with us later to celebrate. As always, I hope you found my content valuable, and if so, please hit the like button and leave a comment down below. The likes and comments appease the algo overlords and help my channel to continue to grow. If you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell for future content. That's it for today. I'm Taps. Thank you for your time, and happy trading.